Well, joining us now for more on this is the Energy Users Australia CEO, Andrew Richards. Andrew, really appreciate your time. Thank you. Do you accept the ACCC would find evidence that this has been happening? Do you believe suppliers have been running those avoidance schemes in order to avoid the price caps?
Well, look, it's probably a little bit too early to tell, Ashley, and thank you for the opportunity today. As the Treasurer said, it's only been in place now for a couple of weeks. Just today, actually, the ACCC have released some enforcement guidelines, and hopefully that will start to give a bit more clarity to both buyers and sellers as to how they go about managing this emergency price cap, and then beyond that, what the mandatory code of conduct for the gas industry may look like. So at the moment, a little bit too early to tell, to be sure. There are some concerning signs, though, that gas is being withheld, and we hope that the gas industry doesn't withhold gas from their Australian customers, because that would just be a terrible situation and really just hold Australians to ransom. Now, I hope that's not the case. I hope the ACCC's guidance today provides a bit more clarity, and then we can start moving forward and start to see some downward pressure on gas prices in Australia.
Yeah, to be fair, it sounds like there has been a lot of confusion. There is a suggestion that producers are actually just still trying to understand the impact of the new laws on them, and they're also worried that they could accidentally breach them and therefore face huge penalties as a result. So they're treading pretty carefully, which you could understand. I mean, the industry is arguing that it's essentially been paralysed, that the government's intervention has chilled the market at a time when the sector actually needs more investment to boost supply. Do you see that as a real risk to the longer-term future of the sector?
No, we don't. Look, the Australian domestic market represents somewhere between 15 to 20% of their overall gas sales. So a majority of Australian gas is sold overseas to contracted partners and to spot markets. So the Australian market is a relatively small market in that context. So there will continue to be substantial investment. The gas price cap is an emergency measure, short term. At $12 a gigajoule, it's important to remember that's the price cap. That represents a 100% markup on the average cost of production. So selling gas to domestic customers at $12 isn't going to send anyone broke. I mean, there's still plenty of money there for the gas industry. But I think it is reasonable, as you say, for them to potentially pause slightly and make sure that they don't enter into a contract that could contravene these new guidelines. And hopefully today's guidance from the ACCC, they provide 6, 7, even 8 different scenarios in that to try and give guidance to both buyers and sellers. So hopefully once that is understood and we start to move forward, then we'll start to see some contracting going in place. So the thing is for sure, though, that the Australian government and the ACCC are watching this very, very closely, and I don't think they'll put up with any monkey business.
So, Andrew, even with the price caps, we know power prices will continue to rise. What is your expectation, or have we seen any new modelling suggesting of just how big a hike households can expect this year?
Yeah, look, unfortunately, the price rises for this year, by and large, were locked in last year. And this sort of just emphasises why we need just to move quickly to ensure that that's not a continuous thing. So we're hearing numbers anywhere between 20 to 35% price increases. That's similar for electricity. Again, locked in largely last year when prices had to be paid. I mean, I had members who are large industrials who needed to contract last year because if they don't have gas, they don't have a business. So they were forced to contract at $40 or $50 a gigajoule, which is incredibly high prices. So it will take some time just to filter through to my members who are large industrials. Hopefully over time it'll also start to filter through for mums and dads with lower prices both for electricity and gas, but it will take some time. And that's understandable because a lot of these contracts are sort of medium to long term.
So, Andrew, for someone who's been watching all of this very closely, how do you rate the government's handling of this? Did it implement the price cap too quickly? Did the timing of it happening just before Christmas complicate things unnecessarily? What else would you like to see done?
Look, there's never a good time, and whether you put it in place just before Christmas or middle of the year, there's always going to be a transition period where people come to understand what it means. So I think they acted in the interests of the Australian public. They acted on very clear advice from the ACCC and of their own Treasury modelling as well. So I don't think they acted too quickly. Previous governments haven't acted quickly enough, and that's just made the problem worse. So we're here now. They have started to take these measures. They've sent a very clear message to the gas industry that they need to look after domestic customers and ensure that we can transition to net zero using gas as well. So there's a whole range of things going on here. So I think the next step quite clearly is a mandatory code of conduct for the gas industry. They have a voluntary code now. We need to move that to a mandatory code. And that then starts to set the longer term parameters for industry participation, because at the moment, the gas market, is quite dysfunctional. The ACCC have called out market power over a period of time now, so we need to rectify this. But this isn't about making the gas industry go broke. No, it's about keeping Australian businesses and households in the game with affordable gas and affordable energy. So everyone can get through this if everyone plays the game by the rules.
Andrew Richards, appreciate your insights. Thank you.
Thank you.